Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is G. Cole, and welcome to Homegrown, where I get to share with you some good music while talking to some great people. Hello world, hope you're feeling as good as I am. I want to big up all my homegrown listeners out there and welcome all the new listeners. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so we can keep you updated when new material is available. We will be posting new episodes bi-weekly. Want to thank everyone who has been listening and sharing. Please leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Please check out the website homegrownwithgcole.com to listen and for all things homegrown. The podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Radio.com, YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcast. We are there. We're also very interactive. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at MyGCole. The video of this interview is also available on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is episode 124, and today's guest is a Multi Billboard, Grammy Nominated Songwriter, penning hits for the likes of Protoje, Jesse Royal, Julian Marley, Lila Ike, and more. A dope artist in his own right, Vision Alexander. Today's episode is sponsored by Scented Delight Candles. Dope. Did I say dope? Dope. Scented Delight was created in 2021 from owner-CEO Natasha's passion for finding long-lasting candles that smell delightful and are soot-free. Only the finest products, high-grade fragrances, and 100% natural wicks are poured into these soy blend luxury candles. Scented Delight candles last 70 hours and will saturate a room in minutes. They also arrive in a decorative, reusable box. What it doesn't say here is that the thing come with a lighter in the box too. I love it. I ain't gonna front. The lighter is beautiful. And you hear me speaking with all kind of excitement right now. I'm a candle guy now. If you had asked me a year ago, a couple of months ago, if I would be a candle guy, I'd tell you no. But I'm a candle guy right about now. I'm loving these candles. It's dope. It's dope. It's dope. And also they come in 6 different fragrances. Serenity, which is lavender and bergamot. Lust, which is vanilla, coconut, and mango. Indulge, white amber and lily. Crave, sweet pea, apples, and jasmine. And Sweetheart, vanilla crumb cake. And also love, mango and peaches. You hear how I'm sounding? Peaches. I'm telling you, I'm loving these candles. I cannot front. I'm loving these candles. And guess what? They come with a lighter in the box. I love it, man. I dig it. A nice, beautiful, branded lighter in the box. All right? Dope. Hit them up at ScentedDelights.com. 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 Also hit them up on Instagram and Facebook at Scented Delights, okay? Get them for the home, get them for the office, get them for the business, get them for whomever, whatever. They make great gifts. I got some at the house right about now. Crazy brownie points. You know what I mean? I'm doing my thing.
Oh, brother. Wagwan.
Chano. Fort Lauderdale.
Easy.
Tamarack. There.
Easy. First of all, thank you so much, sir, for taking the time out to come vibe out and while out with us.
Oh, no. Brother, you don't even know how this, thanks for having me, cause this is home team, you know what I'm saying? I do so many interviews around the world, but to do one home, this is everything, you know what I'm saying? To be able to, yo, this is everything, so thank you for having me.
Pleasure, brother. Pleasure.
You know what I'm saying? Get to talk to the people.
Funny you mention home team, right? Funny you mention home team. A convo I've had for years now, right?
Yeah.
Is for say, Jamaica, a couple of miles from here, right? Literally.
Yeah.
Right? Hop on a flight, you home in an hour, right? But yet still, we've seen some success stories. And we're talking about artist-wise, right?
Yeah.
We've seen success stories from New York. You know, you'll find your craniums. I don't get me wrong, they're all based in Jamaica, really, but from Shaggy, Cranium, whatever, Glen Washington, if you want to go roots and whatnot. And then you have your London stories, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Other parts of the diaspora. And I've always felt like Miami, South Florida, Fort Lauderdale has struggled to establish a successful reggae or dancehall. People would have thought that it would have been easier for us because of how close we are, right? Over the years, have you seen that? And if so, what do you think is the reason why we struggle so much in breaking out a reggae or dancehall star from South Florida?
Well, I mean, South Florida being one of the biggest markets, for reggae music.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, apart from California, them take over the reggae scene.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's a thing where, because we are here and Jamaica is right there, it's we just take it for granted. So many people are like, man, I don't have to be excited. I can go to Jamaica and I can go see my favorite artist. And then the attitude is whatever.
Yeah.
But I always say that here in South Florida, we should have more festivals. There should be more reggae festivals all over South Florida. The same way how you have all of those big reggae festivals in California, they have to have them here.
Right.
You know? Normally when it comes to a touring sector, like you notice that most of the artists, especially in dancehall, they would touch Florida one time, but then they'd mostly do the tri-states. So they'll normally do Connecticut, the New York, you know what I'm saying, the Boston, and they'll bounce from there to there, and then maybe go to Cali. Where I would love that Florida would be more of a spot where people are like, okay, we're going to do something in Miami, then we're going to go to Fort Lauderdale, then West Palm, and then maybe go to Jacksonville. So we need more of that because there's so much of us here as Jamaicans.
Right.
But I think it's just us as the diaspora here, we need to demand that more.
Wow.
We need to speak to the promoters and let them know that we want more festivals. We want more of that type of stuff here in Florida. Because this is really should be a reggaeton. Florida should be a reggaeton. Like you, if any like any music that breaks into America should really break in Florida first. I know New York is this place where you break it first, but it really should be Florida, in my opinion.
Just based on proximity.
Yeah, based off of that and just based off of the fact that everybody comes here. Like this is the melting pot.
Right.
You know, this is Florida, like, you know.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. That's another convo I've had, and it's amazing to hear you speak on a correlation right now between the festivals and the successful artists, right? Because illusions and is everything, and it's a part of the game. It ain't just music; it's everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We need them illusions, the smoke and the mirrors is part of the game.
Yeah.
So folks get to the little club spots and whatnot. Which, don't get me wrong, wherever they come to show you love, they come to show you love.
Yeah.
Right. But we're talking about them festivals. When you see the festivals right now, it stops about Jupiter. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And they're small festivals too, you know, but nonetheless, we don't even have a Janus Live. You know what I mean? We have the Culture Room, which is 750 people.
Yeah.
But it is the spot where we go to see some things. And on occasion, I don't even know if they still have Kaya Fest, which can't even necessarily be considered a festival per se, but the closest thing to it.
Yeah.
But I think there's so much fact, the way you just said a while ago, is where the festivals are. Just based on numbers and metrics alone, festivals is there's a lot more people coming in, right? So where the festivals are is where the traction is. Where we are with the little club vibes and whatever, then we're not seeing no traction. So I think there's facts to where I'm saying that's something.
And also the promoters, it's ego too.
Yeah.
The promoters need to come together and be like, yo, look now, let's do something very big for our culture. And at the end of it, let's make some money. So I think it's the ego as well. Because if we have so many amazing promoters out here in Florida, and I believe they came together and said, look, we're going to put Florida on the map when it comes to reggae music, when it comes to festivals, it can be done.
Wow.
But it's just ego.
So,
Everybody want to be the man.
Everybody wants to be the man.
Yeah.
And sometimes we think about it when we talk about entertainment. That's kind of what people come into it, right?
Yeah.
It's your culture then taught that you the man, so you the spotlight, right?
Yeah.
Unity is not necessarily something that we teach. No. But at the end of the day, I do see some unity. Sometimes we say, oh, the people are not united. This is some things that go on that makes me optimistic, right? But look at it this way. Let us tap into the artist, right? What the artists are doing or not doing, and where they're appearing and where they're not appearing. And we also tap into the promoters and stuff like that, right? There's a section in the reggae and dancehall thing where I say, I then get to it murder more time, you know. The fans, boy. The fans, right? Especially from our aspect of it. Jamaican music fans, we are so personal when it comes to the music, right? If the thing not right, we have everything to say about it. When Grammy time come, we have bonfire. First minister of fire bun in a long time, right? But are they supporting the music enough to where if these promoters did come together, if we did create these venues, could we rely on what we deem the fans of the diaspora, or we'd still be like, yo, we're going to need that Cali-based looking fan, the fans that don't look like us, that support the thing the most time. What do you think in regard to the fan base?
I definitely think the fan base doesn't do enough. You know, even from a streaming standpoint. You know, people love to go out. So if you promote something the right way, you have the right lineup, the right artists. I believe that people will find their way to the events. But at the end of the day, now there has to be an appeal, just like there has to be appeal in the music. You know, from the fan base, like I love the reggae fans, but if we're gonna talk about numbers, because numbers don't lie,
right?
Our numbers in reggae music is poor.
Yeah.
You know, when you compare to California, like they support their reggae artists. You know, we here in our diaspora, we don't.
Right.
We might say I love that artist, but we don't really support.
Right.
You know, we don't do things that, okay, Spotify, we have subscriptions to Amazon and all these things, take out of our account every month. It ain't nothing to have Apple Music taking out your money or Tidal, whatever.
Right.
And then you just know, say, okay, my favorite artist, let's just say it's Jesse Royal.
Right.
I'm going to stream Jesse Royal all day.
Right.
He has an album out now, let me put that out.
Right.
We don't do that. But then we, as you said, we're complaining.
Yeah.
And we'll make up all type of noise and XYZ. And it's not helping the industry.
Right,
and from that standpoint, it is not helping even promoters. Because at the end of the day, when you want to, let's say, get a permit to keep an event or something, and you want the city to back you, and you want big money on board, they're going to look at it from the standpoint of well, it doesn't really make money, and they don't really want the numbers, and then
why am I getting involved?
Yeah, why am I getting involved? Like, this is not even a good flip.
Yeah.
So it's a thing where we as the fans, and I'm a fan too, we need to do better.
I love the fact, because again, sometimes with Wall Street, so once the right artist with the right attitude come in Florida, nothing can stop it. That sounds to me right there like another optimistic fan, right? So, because here's what I realize. Sometimes people don't like the truth,
True.
You know what I mean? We tell ourselves what we want to tell ourselves, right? At the end of the day, I'm 40 plus, I'm 44 years old, right? And the music then I saw Florida before me. So if we still wait on the right artist, then, I mean, we wait in vain, like Bob Marley said, because the right artist has come a lot of times. The amount of talents that come here, I actually had to leave to get that break. Yeah. So at the end of the day, the artist might not be able to say it, but me not afraid for the fans them, we dropping the ball.
Yeah.
Straight up.
We have to do better. We have to do, if we love this, because there's so much things that if we as the fans who love reggae music, if we don't start to do certain things, and we'll get into that more, like there's a lot of insight that y'all probably don't know what's going on beyond the scenes. But if we continue to still just treat our reggae music like, we have to understand that our Jamaican music is like our gold, our oil. You know what I'm saying? And it's come to the point now where we're just like looking at it like, I can go pick up a gold nugget anytime I want because it grew over here. So. Yeah. But then what happens now, you have other genres that come to Jamaica and say, yo, look on the gold all over the ground.
Gone with it.
Me can't just go pick up this, nobody now say nothing. All right, let me go and build something yourself.
Facts.
And that's what's happening. And example, reggaeton.
Yeah.
Afrobeats.
Yeah.
Many genres have taken something from us and they are now powerhouse genres.
Right.
So that's our fault.
It is. And here's the deal. I love start conversations like this, that's the whole reason I'm going. But first of all, we're talking to, you hear me say, Multi Billboard acclaimed songwriter. We are talking about multi Grammy nominated. So we ain't just talking to the homie down the street. It ain't Timothy, you know what I mean? I'm not just Kevin, right? We're talking to Vision, big up yourself, Kevin. We're talking to Vision the writer here, all right? And here's the thing. Let's talk in the whole Grammy thing there, right? Right? How we treat the music, so to speak. I have convo with people. I'm sure you have more of these convos than I do because you're way more on the inside than I am. In just the fact that we're on the verge of losing the Grammy category, totally right about, no, people are complaining about who take the Grammy. If we don't play the cards right, next year there may be no reggae Grammy category.
Boy, you touch a topic that me I tell you like me never think you go to say with it to the cause. Me I say boy, me never want to bring it up, but you know, yes, and it's the truth. A matter of fact, it's inevitable.
Right.
I mean, we've already seen what's happening with the Mobile Awards. You know, I mean, their reasons are different. Right. Of course, but at the end of the day, it was just so easy for them to say, let's dissolve this category that we've had for years and just throw all these Jamaican artists into what them call it now, best world or international. And what you just said a while ago about the Grammys, I've heard it from the inside that the Grammys are actually considering it because the reason is they're looking at the votes. There's not enough voters. So they're looking at it and saying, okay, we have this genre that is not getting enough votes. There's not enough members. So it only makes sense to dissolve this category and then put this into world music. So when we think about world music now, you know who we are go up against? We are go up against Burna Boy, Wizkid. We are go up against the numbers.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, we are not ready to go up against that from the number standpoint.
Nope.
You know? So it's something that is inevitable unless we change it. Like, I'd honestly say, like, are you a member of the Grammy?
Working on it, but I'm not yet.
You see? These are things that we have to do
Mm-hmm.
as Jamaicans. We have to become members.
Right.
You know? We have to. Like, if we want to save our music, if we want to keep that Grammy best reggae, we have to become members.
Right.
It's very important.
And even from the vantage point of how we make and put out our music too, because we have the hustle mentality. I mean, don't get me wrong, dancehall music, reggae music, we say it's been a singles driven market, right? But at the end of the day, having these conversations and saying, okay, we need at least, throw the numbers out there, 200 albums nominated per year to maintain it, right?
Yeah.
And this music, what we say, the biggest thing, I was reading an article that said that a survey was done on reggae music is the
top 10
most listened music, or shit, not say listen, loved music in the world, but yet still it does not equate to the numbers that we're looking for. It's also because we ain't putting out albums. You know what I mean? We drop a lot of these things, and there's no category for best reggae song. It's a category for best reggae album. And majority of the people who are not putting out albums have more than albums worth of music. So even just the way we approach it too, with our hustle mentality, is almost like not thinking about it on the grand professional world stage and world scene like we should. I think it's a mindset where we're really happy, and that's where people like yourself come in. You know what I mean? For kind of rid those people of the backyard mentality, so to speak.
Yeah, because saturating the genre is not working.
Too much.
It's you put out 100 song and them don't add up to one.
Right.
And then you have one big genre artist come out and do one song and doubles your numbers.
Yeah.
So it goes down to math, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like when me I do work with artists, I tell them straight up, say, yo, look now, me there for win. I know that you talk about, oh, the music is not a competition, it's a mission. Yeah, but the mission is also to win.
Right.
Because you as an artist I'm working with, I want to see you number one on the charts. I want to see you close the show.
Right.
Because if you close the show, that means you're getting more money for your show.
Right.
So that means you have to have a winning mentality. You have to have an attitude like, I'm the best. And the only way we can be the best is to make the best music.
Jano.
You know? So you want to sit down and make 100 songs. Vision make 100 songs. I'm not with it. Let's make one.
One good record.
Let's make one good record. And you know, I grew up in the music here in Florida amongst John FX.
Right.
You don't know Warren Blows, Morgan Heritage. Like they taught me the game. And John FX said in an interview the other day, even when it comes to structure of songs, chorus, hook, pre-hook, outro, intro, like these are the things that we have to really concentrate on when making the music.
Yep.
You know, if we want to compete.
Right.
So anybody that I work with, I preach that. I'm like, I'm not just here to make a song. You could have paid me as much money as it. Yo,
it don't make sense.
I don't make no sense because I'm not going to make a song so that in the next 3 weeks, yo, Vision will have to make another one. You see, I want us to treat each song like a small business.
Mad.
We invest in it, we grow it. It takes, they say it normally takes 3 months to really see if a song is going to break. I want us to try to run this song for a year. And let this song be the backbone to the upcoming album or EP.
Right.
So we're not saturating the market with a bag of
Tune.
Yeah. We're making songs that are going to last for years. That's why Bob Marley's on the charts till this day and can't come off.
Can't come off, if you try to get him off.
You know,
there's a word floating around, quality, right? And again, that's a word too where it's pretty relative. When I speak of quality, a lot of time we're talking about the production quality, but we also do know that sometimes the most successful song ain't necessarily best produced, and best produced song ain't normally always the most successful.
Facts.
But there's certain formulas. I've realized that, like you mentioned just now, the amount of time it takes to push and promote a song. The avenues by which you need to push it and promote it, right? The sonics. People talk about the Grammy every single day, not realizing that the Grammy recognizes the recording quality more than anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just little things like those. But when we talk about quality, a lot of time I think people think of a quality artist versus quality music. It don't matter how quality the artist want to be if him not make quality music. It doesn't matter how great his talent level is. If the music that is putting out ain't up to par, nothing not gonna come of it.
Nothing.
And I think sometimes we get so lost in fandom that we don't hold our artists accountable. I am not going to tell anybody say I have 500,000 Shaggy records by stream, right? But I'm not going to lie to you and say, yo, me have a bag of Shaggy album. No. Maybe one, maybe two, right? Me not going to tell you say me have a bag of me have about 3 Sean Paul album, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all of the major players that I can think of that have impacted the market and the world great in the past however many years, there's certain quality standards that they adhere to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that includes what you were speaking of just now, which is the process and how to push these records and how long we gonna push them. Remember all Elephant Man? Before Elephant Man became commercially successful, he was doing what everybody else did. A tune a week. You know what I mean? That producer have one, that producer got one. Once he became commercially successful, what he do? Put out an album. How long him a push on the River? That's for ages, right?
Yeah.
And that song grew him to whatever he grew to be. The fact is, you can't get away from the formula.
That's the thing. Them try to create this new thing that everybody thinks, yeah, I'm gonna do it a different way, Ray. But the truth is that if your numbers are not reflecting, no matter what you want, come try change the game to. You need to take heed from the elders in the industry. You have to. You know, it starts from the root.
Right.
You know, and many of these young artists, young producers, we have to see that and understand that there's a formula, you know.
Right.
And even if it's not within our own genre, we have to look at other formulas, like maybe, okay, look how reggaeton just grew them thing and take something from us and look where them they know. Yeah. You know, you talk about the Grammys, like even for instance, in my opinion, we talk about the Grammys and big up the Grammys. I believe Massacre should have gotten nominated.
Right. In this
in this category,
album.
I believe Massacre's album was the best album out of Jamaica.
Wow.
In my opinion.
And that's a dancehall album.
That's a dancehall album. But let's talk about numbers. His numbers were the best. He was on the Billboard charts for the longest. You know, that's not easy to do as a dancehall artist.
Yep. Without a major push.
So big up to Massacre, big up to all the producers and his team.
Right.
But you know what happened? There's not enough voters. Massacre has a lot of fans. But there's not enough voters to say, you know what, we're going to vote for him. And this is where it becomes a competition.
Wow.
Where Massacre's fans could have said, you know what, we're all going to become members and we're going to rally behind a Massacre album. We're going to vote to make sure he get nominated. That's why. Because the Grammys, they don't base it off of sales.
Right.
It's quality and it's many other things. But it's about votes.
It's votes, politics.
It's votes. It's straight votes.
Yeah.
So them type of thing that hurt me. Because I believe Massacre should have been nominated, but the reason why he wasn't is because he never had the votes.
And that's an every year thing.
And the thing about it, Massacre has many fans. Many artists in Jamaica have many fans around the world.
Right.
What we need to start doing as artists and producers, you need to start telling your fans, if you really love me, do the things like this, get my numbers up.
Yeah.
You know, go subscribe.
Right.
Do certain things because that's going to make us be a winning team. You know what I'm saying? As an artist and you as my fans.
Right.
That's how I'm going to really win and be able to push these things. Like, even from a standpoint of me as a writer, I go into many meetings with labels, with A&Rs, and when we're talking about me, I look forward to the budget them.
Right.
You know? Because so me get my money.
Right.
So when them talk about reggae now, the budget is small. So I'm like, John Star.
Yeah.
I could put 100,000 in this now.
Right.
That 100,000, the artist, if I go shoot a video, them if I go do that, how am I gonna pay me?
I'm buy Gucci belts.
You know. But then it hurts because then I'm from a business standpoint, I understand why they're not investing because they're looking at like this is not a good return.
Yeah.
Why am I going to put $500,000 into an artist or into a genre when it's not going to help me flip because their fan base is not supportive? The artists are not really making the right decisions in terms of, okay, when to drop a song, the structures. So from the investment standpoint, we're not really getting it. So that hurts me and you as the people beyond the scenes. And it hurts the artists as well. Because you'll have an artist. I used to work in a company that know the numbers with certain things. You'll have a video. One artist will have a video for probably $500,000 just to shoot a video.
Right. The good days when somebody, a reggae album might only have $50,000 to use to try to make their album. Right. Including the video
and promote it.
Right.
So then it hurts us because when you think about it, and that's why I have to big up every Jamaican artist because when you think about some of the budgets that we're working with, but they're still able to put out music and still have us be able to play it, it's a lot of work. People don't know what's going on beyond the scenes of an artist, you know.
Yep.
If you're given $50,000 and people might say, blood,
I love money that.
it's not.
Nope.
But you're still able to shoot your videos. But imagine if we were able to make our genre more marketable to the point where people will invest more. That means that artists can now shoot more videos with the 4K, with the Red, with the Alexa Mini cameras, shooting in that 8K.
Wow.
We can do more, link with more program directors to get it on every show like yours. There's more things that can happen, so the world can be like, wow, look how reggae music videos look. Look how the quality sound. Who
be
mixed
up in
that?
that industry standard with
Be
the
up
major
in
players.
that industry where they're like, okay, well, we see you reggae music.
Yeah.
Because it take money. So that is the mindset that we have to have as artists, producers, all around the board, that this take money.
Wow.
And you need investors to do it sometime. But
Right.
an investor not gonna put no money in something if him not gonna make it back.
And this is not just music. This is business at large.
This is
No matter
business.
what it is, ain't nobody investing in nothing when I turn on.
All right. And the next thing that every artist and producer need to hear this, you know, you probably hear this many times, but hear it again from me. This game is 95% business, 5% talent.
Yep.
There is no way around it. I don't care what nobody want to tell me. It is 95% business. With the camera them, they look upon me good. And 95% business.
And this ain't reggae. We talking about the music.
We're talking
business
the
at
music
large.
business in general. There's times when I used to be like, Chuck, oh, that song they I play on the radio every hour of the hour. It not even sound good. I'm used to when I'm young and ignorant. But I get to realize now as I got more into the business, you know what? His business is good.
Yeah.
Because he's found a way to get his song played on the hour of every hour.
Right.
So his business is really strong. Yeah, the song might not sound all that good, but guess what? I know that melody.
And by the time them done program it there, you know.
We know it.
You know it.
You know? So it's just like, we don't have to overstand, say, if we're not going to do this music thing, you know, if we don't want us to do music, set up a mic in a closet and just go do some music with a friend them and they say, well, do some music, you know, we're going to post it on Instagram and have a good time.
Right.
But if you really want to do music business, understand about publishing, copyright, contracts, you know, you need to really understand this aspect of the business. No matter what role you play in the industry, even from a program director, you have to know the business.
Yep.
If you don't know the business, it's going to be very hard for you. And at the same time, you're not going to know what direction to go. So even from the standpoint of, okay, you want to make an album. If you don't know your business model, if you don't understand the business, what kind of album are you going to make? You're just going to make a bag of songs. Because you have to understand at the same time, there's something called market share. You know, what are you presenting in the market share of our industry? Many people were upset about Soulja winning and the California. Now I was there at the Grammys. And it hurt me because, you know, I was there and Jesse and Sean and Jason were there thinking Jesse I go win it.
Right.
Soulja won. But then you don't think about it. Soulja sat down twice at those Grammy nominations and lost twice to the Marleys.
Yep.
But then you look at what Soulja brings to the market share of reggae music and most of the California artists. They bring up a large number of market share that makes reggae still marketable.
They contribute heavily.
They contribute a lot, and they also put artists on tour with them.
Yeah.
So when everybody ignorant and said, yo, you make them do it, we have to understand that it's business run this thing.
Yeah.
You know? So if anything you can hear from me for tonight is, I go stress 95% business.
Jono.
95% business. If you don't get that, you ain't gonna make it. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If y'all don't get that, you ain't gonna make it. You are gonna get robbed. You gonna get robbed in this business. You gonna be, let me tell you something.
Vex for
Let me
life.
tell you something. It's a music business. We are gonna talk. We can talk it around and look under there. Yo, it's a music business. One of my dads them teach me this. Him say, yo, you see if you want to throw money at something and out of love and not see it back, money and investing in a football club.
Wow.
You know? But you know, we as Jamaican, we love ball.
Yeah.
And we love music.
Yeah.
So when we get a little money now, want a soccer team, want to promote an artist, you throw money in it and guess what? You don't really see it back in a little time.
Right.
But if you understand the business, you'll understand that you're not making a risk, you're making a calculated risk when it comes to, okay, what I'm investing in the music. Because you understand the business.
Right.
You're not just throwing a bag of money. Me can bet right now, half of una as artists and producers spend whole heap of money.
Yeah.
And una can't say if una make it back.
Right.
Una still in the red.
Right.
But we want to be on our balances in the black. Enough of we still in the red. Me not lie, me in the red. You know? Me just start kind of see back a little, you know? Yeah. Me not hide and talk it. I just what day me can start buy some chain and them thing there and say, alright, music money I look good now, but me still in the red. You see me? But I had to educate myself to the business.
Right.
You know? There was a I remember I actually did class.
Right.
I invested in a 3-month course to learn about publishing, copyright, and everything there. I learned from an entertainment lawyer from Sony. He was doing a course. And I said, look, bro, I don't have no degree or I can't get no loan for good enough. How it go? Me pay your cash for this. And he said, okay, come to my class.
Right.
I said, how much for pay you? Boom. I went there with my book, my notes. My homeboy Dan Ray was with me. And we sit down there and study.
Wow.
To test everything. Because I knew that if I wanted to continue in this business, I'd have to understand the business. I had to understand the music business.
Right.
And I learned so much about copyright publishing that it saved me. And the reason why I can be Grammy nominated and Billboard, this and that and the third, apart from just being talented at doing it, it's because of the business. I'll honestly tell the truth. If I never did that course or told myself I had to learn it, I wouldn't be no Grammy nominated person.
Right.
I wouldn't be no Billboard. No, I'll just be this guy from Florida that knows how to write songs, but he ain't got nothing under his name.
Right.
You know?
You know, I'm gonna tell you something. What I'm gonna rate. I mean, I appreciate the viewpoint. Is this? In everything we do, we get these little silly stories of how people break, right? Somebody come tell you some BS story, say, boy, did I walk past and happened to hear a song in a man basement and just happened to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The stories that sound good. But at the end of the day, what you are talking about right about now, that's the real. Educate yourself. If you want to be an accountant, you got to go to school. If you want to do this, you got to go to school, right? So treat the music the same. What I love about what you do and how it relates to today's industry, all the things you talk about are aged methods. You know what I mean? The business, the business of music. It's the old age adage from long time. It's you learn from Gramps, you learn from the OGs, and you're dropping records with today's modern heavy hitters, right?
Yeah.
While following the formulas of yesterday, because the formula not change, right?
Don't change.
Let's talk Protoje, for example, because you got some joints with Protoje, right?
Yeah, man.
How did that connection come about? Did he pass and hear you in the... Nah, joke, my man. But... Because always some story. I was in the basement, dog, and I was just playing. How did the connection with Protoje come about?
Well, you know, say, in a different life, before I was into music,
Right.
I actually met Protoje through a third party, you know. So at the time, they call him Oje. I never met him. I should answer since I met him. No cap. I never met him, but he was at one of the spots that we used to run. You know, you see me?
Right.
And the person said to me, yo, him name Oje. You know, he gonna be big. At the time, I never cared about no music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Being real.
Me never busy about no music. At the time, we out there, we doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, music. And I said, oh yeah, that's good for him. I'm happy for him. That's great, you know.
Yeah.
But when I think about, you know, to get into how I actually met him, I remember that day when I saw him in my house, waiting on somebody in the lobby right there. I'm in the hallway, and I remember seeing him, and you know, he was on the rise of becoming, like, he wasn't even big yet, but he was getting there, you know.
Right.
And it was so since I met, that was probably like 10 years. So I said Protoje again now. So I met Protoje now officially. When I went to LA with Jesse Royal invited me to a writing camp that he had on his album Royal. So we first did a song called I did a song called Lion Order.
That I'm tuning.
You see me? Yeah, man, respect. Did a song called Lion Order. Jesse, people heard it, loved it. And then they were like, yo, this song, who wrote this song? Who did this song?
Right.
So they were like, whoever did this song, we want this person to be a part of the album going forward.
Right.
So that's when Jesse said, yo, forward with me, come to LA, let's build this album.
Right.
Big up to Jesse Royal. And Protoje was there, surprisingly. So that's where I met Protoje. You know, we chopped it up a little bit, and at the same time he was working on his album, which was In Search of Last Time, In Search of Last Time, and he was working on the song with him on Coffee, Switch It Up. So he told me, yo, Vision, you want to come listen and hear what I go on, you know? And that's how that began. And from that relationship, we created the song, created the hook for the song, created, you know, and the vibe of it. And later he got back to me and said, yo, bro, I got Coffee on the record. It's going to be on the album. Let's continue working.
Right.
And from that, now, he introduced me to Lila. Started to work with Lila Ike. The song De Niro out right now. Yeah, man. You see me? That song me and Lila and Sean worked on.
Yeah.
Jazzalise, look out for Jazzalise.
Fire artist.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like from that now I just started to meet them and start to work with them because the vibe was just right. I like, you know, I love Protoje's vibe, and Protoje's a real youth, like, you know, but now like as a writer, because many people, as a writer is not normally somebody supposed to be up in the forefront.
Right.
You know, I like to work beyond the scenes and just do my thing. But Protoje really gave me the opportunity when he never had to.
Right.
Like there's one time he was on his live and he was debuting the song, and I'm just watching the live and he's like, yo, big up to Vision, you know, he wrote on this song, right, and I'm like, whoa, you don't really see that happen. You don't expect that, you know? And then it's like from that now, it just kind of, people start to like, oh, wow, he Vision, and, you know, everything started to add up. You know, Jesse showed me enough love too.
Right.
But then Protoje one time, he was at a show, and I'm on the stage watching him doing the show, and the man come over to me and give me the mic and say, yo, sing the song where you work on.
What?
You know?
What?
You know, and I'm like, you know, so right then I'm just like, what? Ready? You know? And we're singing in front of like 20,000 people, and just that type of love they were Protoje show me always have.
He does give off the real energy.
Real, like, you know, you don't really, him not going to be out there and talk it, you know, but me just I keep it real, like him is a real individual. And I'm happy I met him, and thanks to Jesse for introducing me to Protoje.
Right.
You know, that whole camp is a bunch of real individuals. Like, they're really serious about the music, and I've learned a lot from them. You know, I ain't going, you know, as much as I'm in the studio with them and we're making the music, I really peep game from them.
Wow.
Because
that's fire. That's fire. And again, what I love when people, a lot of musicians, a lot of artists, a lot of producers listen to the show, and what I love when they get from people like yourself is, I always say, there are those who do it, and there are those who do it well, right? No matter how you slice and dice, there's a right and wrong way to do stuff. Sometimes we try to trivialize the thing and be like, well, if it happen, no, right? It's just not. And you mentioned stuff like writing camps. You mentioned the formal aspect of it. The talent part and the musicianship and the musician them and the studio vibe, that's all organic and it's all good, right? But to turn that flour, sugar, salt, and whatever into a cake, there's a formula for that. And I love the fact that you guys are doing it well. And when I say do it well, I mean, when you speak of your processes right there, it's no different from when I hear the biggest R&B artists, the biggest pop artists, the Ed Sheerans, the Chris Browns, or whatever the case may be. It's the same approach they take. And that's the reason why the people that moved up on the top of the thing right about are the same names that you refer to, because they go about it the right way.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Jesse Royal, another one to where super talented, but me love him energy too. I had a interview with Jesse and Protoje, and you know, I tell people this all the time. You see, when Jay-Z drop a record, more I'm gonna hear the record. I'm not necessarily gonna sit down for the interview, right?
Yeah.
When 50 drop a record, I'm more likely to go get the interview than get there. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who just want to hear talk. Jesse's one of the people sitting and listen to talk for the whole day. Okay? I'm just the way how he emotes.
Yeah.
Protoje a little bit more subdued and a little bit more cool and quiet, you know what I mean? But Jesse animated with it. So, but I love the whole energy with the whole of them bring to the table. And I think they are the future for that reason. Not just the fact that they're talented, but because of their approach to the game. I love the fact that you take the same approach, bro. And that's the reason why you got the accolades to your name, and they didn't fall out of trees. You say you're going to invest in anything, right? That money they were spending night, you could have get 2 girls and go down the road and have a good time.
Hell of a good time.
Hell of a good time. You know what I'm saying? But you went ahead and did what you had to do, and here we are right now.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? When we talk about the industry itself, something I always ask, especially the OGs, right? If I handed you the keys to the industry right about now, what are you changing? Straight up off the bat.
Which part of the industry though?
The reggae.
Reggae?
Our thing. Jamaican music.
I would try to find a way where in Jamaica they can be more interactive when it comes to like Spotify, you know. I'd want to have more of that. It's hard because, you know, with the credit cards, and we're not really like that in Jamaica where you know. But I would also love that there is more. I would try to make more powerhouse labels set up shop in Jamaica. Like you go to other countries, like you'd have a Universal Guyana, you know, you'll have a Sony Denmark.
Yeah,
you know,
I feel you.
I would love for something like that to be in Jamaica, like Sony Jamaica. You know, and set up shop there.
Right.
And I think that will also like probably show the artists and the people, like, okay, yo, them set up shop down here, and there's a certain way to get in the door.
Yeah.
You know, and if you get in that door, that's to the world. Because this is a major label, and you'll start to understand more about distribution and everything.
Right.
So that's something that I would enhance, I want, but it goes back down to why aren't these labels doing that? Because they're looking at it like, does it make sense to even build a building? You know, and that's the hurtful part.
Yeah.
Because
patriotic.
You know, like, yo, we're not even worth you building a building. Not even you're not even a room, not even, you know, like even a classroom to say, you know what, this is the office of, you know. They don't even sit it. They don't even sit it.
No value.
And that is what we'll have to change.
I'm gonna tell you this. I've spoken to people. I have people across me from the little ones all the way up to 80-something years old, the OGs. I ain't never heard nobody mention that. And I'm gonna tell you something. I think that's the most profound thing. Yes, that when I think about it, hearing you speak right now, you got a Universal UK, you got Universal independent, like it's a Denmark independent spot. Small countries in Europe, they still have them set up, right? Africa, wherever the case may be. You mentioned Guyana right about now. I'm thinking to myself, damn, you're right. Nobody. How come there's never? And we're talking about, we've had the likes of Shabba, we've had the likes of Cabra, and a lot of people who dabbled. You know what I mean? The crossover aspect of it. Capleton at one point in time. But you're right. Nobody ever set up shop in Jamaica, and I think that would encourage people to look at it the way you look at it, right? The mainstream. I think it takes away the backyard approach. You know what I mean? Because we're kind of taught the hustle and the backyard vibe at home, right? And then think that is a miracle make a Sean Paul, and of course we chalk it up to whatever. You know, I'm light skin, him this, him that, and whatever the case may be. Sean follow the freaking formula. I'm sorry. That's what I saw.
You definitely
know what I mean?
did.
Shaggy follows the formula. Right? Cranium follow the formula. If you just want to keep it a buck, right?
Yeah.
But there's reasons. What are the reasons that why the music is not as lucrative as it ought to be? And by that I mean comparing apples to apples. The biggest hip hop artist, the biggest R&B artist, the biggest pop artist, the biggest dancehall artist, the biggest reggae, they're not on the same plane, right? The other genres, they're equally there, maybe off by a couple numbers here and there, you know what I mean? But if we put our biggest name, Alive, Bob, we're not counting Bob, right? Alive up against one of theirs in terms of stuff, it's just not the same worth per se. What's the deal? What's causing stuff like that?
Our numbers.
Straight up.
Yeah, our numbers. We're not interactive enough. You know, it's just that we're not interactive.
Right.
Like, I grew up in a ball. My father used to play professional ball, so I'm gonna use only different metaphors and similes. You know, so we as Jamaican culture, we are the midfielder of the music industry. All we've ever done is just distribute the ball.
Wow, back and forth.
And whole heap of people score.
Right.
But nobody ever talk about who passed the ball to make that score.
Damn.
We're taking the free kicks, we're taking the corners.
God. Bro, I ain't never heard it put like that.
Yeah.
You probably 95 years old and in the quiet, I'm gonna know. But come back there and say, a big man taught that. God no.
You see me?
Facts.
That's what it is. Wow. And we're too comfortable with being the midfielder. You know? We're too comfortable.
We need to go strike.
We need to go strike. But we have to know how to strike.
Right.
Because you're growing up in the forward now and...
Be a brokey booty.
Yeah, you know, you don't know what you do. Be a salad and pile until a defender broke your foot and your career done. But
still no score one.
You know? But that's the issue. Like, we are the distributors and we have to take pride in that. Because many genres can't go around and say that Jamaican music has been an influence to them.
Yeah.
Even if it's from dancing, if it's from the way I would dress or would talk. Like, you go to England right now, like, yeah, them say England a white man country, you know, but if you go to London, a Jamaican culture on the road.
Very much so.
You know what I'm saying? You watch Top Boy and them show that you say I just beer our slangs.
Yeah.
Big up England. I'm from Birmingham, so me I talk as a British man, you see me?
Man. London's a rainy Kingston.
So it's like our culture in every aspect has had influences, even in grime music, everything. So what's that? That's a distributor, though. We just pass the ball to them and them make millions. Reggaeton, you have our name, reggaeton, big reggae. That's what it mean. We pass a big ball gear and you're gone with
and
it.
Score.
And you score to the point that them have them own Grammys.
Jano.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's like we have to stop thinking that it's okay to just be the distributor,
right.
because it's not really getting us anywhere. It was cool, but if we were making a certain amount of numbers, back to your question, like the reason why, because we don't have the numbers, we have to start like taking more pride in that, and at the same time feel kind of embarrassed at the fact that we're doing this thing and we're still not making certain numbers, and we're still not getting certain investments and endorsements, and we've created one of the greatest artists in the world, but Bob Marley. You know? Talking about Bob Marley, like reggae music, like a lot of people say reggae music can't change, and reggae music can evolve. You know, once Bob Marley, there's always going to be a Bob Marley, reggae music will never change from a standpoint of its culture, its image, everything. But that doesn't mean that we can't fuse reggae music with a little bit of Afrobeats. That don't mean we can't fuse a little bit of rock. You know? It doesn't mean that we're watering down the music, you know? In Jesse's album, we use a lot of trap elements, a lot of 808s, along with our reggae drum and bass. But at the same time, now you have to also acclimate yourself to the sound now in music. You know? Right now in music, people are not as interested in music as there once was. Like Beyonce dropped her album the other day and the numbers were okay, but not great.
Not Beyonce standard numbers.
And it's because of after Corona, people just, attention span is more like not really there. People are not really falling in love with the album like how they used to. So,
Makes sense.
So what's happening now is that people are more using music in a capacity of a sinking. So where you'd now say, oh, I'm going to put that song up on my Instagram story live and make it play in the background when me I drive my Benz. Or TikTok, which has helped dancehall a lot. You know, TikTok really has helped dancehall because the dancing, but see the formula that's it's called dancehall. So when you have your dance them and your dirt bounce and your thing them start go viral. So that's a formula that maybe we need to, you know, understand that this is dancehall at the end of the day. Big up Ding Dong.
You can't dance the dancehall.
Yeah, you have to, you know. So it just goes to show you that like we need to be more interactive and we need to know that what's going to work now, especially that the game has really changed. And you just said it earlier. Hope, God forbid, the Grammys dissolve with the best reggae, and the Billboard might dissolve too. You know, and we can't have that.
Nah, especially since we look to and I just call a spade. We look to their market for a lot of the support for us, because like we said, our people now really dive into that. And you know something, I question a lot of times too if the whole credit card and all them kind of stuff that not being as accessible, because when I speak to our people from long time till now, consuming reggae music via the bootleg methods and via hearing it from some public speakers has always been the way. I've literally heard people on the biggest platforms in Jamaica verbalize, and I was surprised that they did that straight up, said them not buying music, right? It's no different from when artists send me music, and I know the promotional aspect of it, you send it out, whatever the case may be, but a lot of the DJs too, you see, all right, a perfect example, me have Lion Order, all right? I have Protoje's albums on MP3s, because they're people sending music to me, right? However, me don't pay $9.99 for Apple Music already, you know. Me don't pay $12.99 for Tidal already. So when I'm on, when me up on the air, wherever I am, where there's Wi-Fi, I stream.
Thank you.
Don't pay a fee already.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome,
I
bro.
appreciate it. Thank you.
It makes no sense to do it any other way. Now, if me up on the road, I'm on a Wi-Fi, then a different something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I rarely have that problem because I'm not a DJ. But for the masses out there, I think the mindset more than anything else of purchasing the music ain't necessarily a thing that we've ever really subscribed to. That's why, even from the Bob Marley days till now, whomever did sell records, the record sales weren't us. I never we are buy it.
I know we are by, yeah.
But the issue right now is the buying audience not buy it no more to some degree because of content. So one, people can understand.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm gonna give Sean Paul a lot of credit, because if you can't sing the verses, damn it, you can sing the hooks. You know what I'm saying? Formula.
Yeah.
But how do you feel when you drive in your car or when you just hear music? Not from artists you work with or whatever the case may be, but somebody in the industry who, like you said, we have this patriotic thing about us where it hurts us to hear anything less than positive about home, right? And when we hear certain things, we know how it affects. When we see war going on yard, we not just see it as war yard. We say, damn it, how is this going to affect tourism? How it going to affect the music consumption, whatever, right? But when you hear the music that's coming out right about now, how do you think it affects the consumers, the consumers that are not us? Because truthfully, them are the real consumers. The white people, the people across the globe where I buy the thing, who are buying it less now. Is it the content, or what do you think is the reason why they're consuming less of it?
I think the content as well. It's the music is not as it doesn't attract their ears like one time. You know, I tell people all the time before we make music is that you could bring in, oh, you know, this guy, he plays on this band and we have this producer. My whole thing is this: the music have a sound, it have to feel good.
Right.
I never went to Full Sail or any of these big schools where I can explain to you chord progression and
Right.
I just know what feels good because I'm a consumer. You know, I know what I want to listen to when I'm in the gym.
Right.
I know what song I want to dedicate to my woman.
Right.
You know, I know what feels good. So I bring that element into my music. So when I'm working with whoever and we play the song and I'm like, it just don't feel good. How you feel? Don't tell me that it feels good because we're in here for like 3 hours and the studio time is running and we just need to get a song done. Does it feel good to you?
Right.
Does it feel good to you? Does it feel good to you? No, let's start over. Because if it don't feel good, it's not gonna break through.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you could have all of these tactics and all that. That don't mean shit.
Right.
Sorry, I don't mean to curse. You know, it don't mean anything. Sometimes the best music comes from just buck-ups.
Wow.
You not think too deep about it. So I think with the music out of Jamaica now is like, the truth is when it comes to the dancehall music, and I see with the youth them, you know, because Jamaica is not the same Jamaica that I left. You know, Jamaica harder. You know,
Very much so.
very much so. You know, it's like the youth them look on what their future going to be right now. It's like when I went to school, I was in George. It's like a bar me play. And my dreams and aspirations was maybe to be a reggae boy, but maybe to come to America and get a scholarship, which I did.
Right.
You know, for play ball. And that was the mindset of most of us. I can honestly say that most of my peers who I went to school with, some of them passed away, but most of them are here.
Right.
Now in Jamaica now, it's like most of the youth, the younger youth, don't really see the hope. And that is why I don't promote scamming, but it's like the youth, now see it as what me I got to do in a life.
Right.
Come out of high school and just can't get a job and just be regular. When you have opportunity, so I can try change my life. So then what happens now is that they put that in the music because that is what they're seeing. That is what they're seeing as hope. And it's unfortunate that I don't support no illegal activity.
Right.
But then at the same time now the music has become a little bit more gritty. So to the consumers that are used to buying the music,
Right.
they can't really relate. Like, so for instance, when Bob Marley did say, Rockstone was my pillow, it sounded cool to the reggae, but them not really understand what that mean.
Yep.
But it was cool because Bob Marley used melodies and certain ways to make it be like, you know.
Feel good.
But now the music now is really like,
Yeah.
the Rockstone, real Rockstone pillow, my head a bust open. That is how the music feel to them.
Graphic.
So you know, as somebody know who live overseas and you know your reggae music and you're like hearing this graphic thing.
Yeah, but damn.
Yeah, I said, Jesus.
I feel you.
And guess what? It real what am I say?
Yeah.
But
It's how they was saying.
But how can I relate?
Yeah.
I can't talk about my head a bust open pan. Is it like them can't relate? Them like, I love reggae music and I want to support it, but I can't cap. I don't know what a Rockstone feels like. So then what happens now when them can't really relate and the music is not feeling good, then move on.
Yeah.
So now I don't really want to listen to reggae anymore. Or I'll stick to my whatever because I can't relate. It's too grit. So how do we solve that? Because you can't tell the youth them now, yo, sing about something happy, no man.
When them not happy.
When them not happy.
Yeah.
How you for tell them that?
Facts.
But there has to be a balance where that's where the business comes in. Where we have to understand, say, okay, yo, I can't sing about right now, you know. I can't sing about love right now, you know, because my girl just broke my heart.
Right.
But I know say love song sell. So I have to find a way where I can still make a love song because, you know, I have to get there. And that is where the youth them now have to open up their mind and be like, this is a business.
Yeah.
You know?
Stop make tune for your friend.
Yeah, stop make tune for your friend them or sometimes how you feel, what you're going through. That is good, you know.
Yeah.
But then you have to think about it worldwide.
Yeah.
And that shows real talent.
Wow.
That shows who's really an artist.
Right.
You know? Right. Who really is an artist and who can do that. And you can ask the brother, John, or brother, yo, brother, I never know you're so in love, man, with that. And the man can say, brother, I tell you the truth, you know, so right now, my woman left me. And the man say, but I no overstand, but you just make a song about your love her. Brother, I just started my job, man.
Yeah. And I got to do the job.
But guess what? You felt it though, right?
Yeah. That's talent.
That's talent. Yeah. And that's you understanding the business and knowing what has to happen. Right. So that is what I would honestly advise most of the youth them at Jamaica. You know, many youth send me music from Jamaica and tell me to listen to it, and you know, I hear the pain, I hear the grit.
Right.
You know, I hear certain things and it's hard for me to say to them, boy, brother, this not selling them. Because that's their story.
Right.
But the truth is sometimes it's a little bit too much edge.
Right. For
the regular consumer. Because your friend them who around you now buy the music, you know.
That's facts, right? And that the people have to realize.
And
who is your market?
Yeah, you know, your friend them, the friend the most of them are going to do is give you the pop, 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 and make up your nice, and yeah, that make you feel good, but that not going to really put no money on the table.
Right.
You know? So that's where you have to really like separate and know, say, okay, I'm going to make some music for the streets, and then I'm going to make some mainstream records that can get balance. And because I'm an artist, you know, if I'm a producer and I'm just going to make all type of beats, like you have to be versatile to know that, okay, I got a Rihanna in my studio right now.
Right.
And I've just been making this dancehall trap. I have to tap into my element of knowing how to make pop. You know? Yeah. If I really want to get on that record, if I want to get on that Rihanna album. So you have to open your mind. Wow. So me tell the youth them, say, yo, like if you love this music, like study music. Listen to different music. All of you producers, like listen to different music. Don't just get stuck with what's on the radio in Jamaica or the radio. Like just listen to other genres. Some genres that you probably
your palette.
Open up your You have to, because that's the only way you're gonna grow. You have to know what's out there, because maybe you might hear something and you say, yo, them drum that body. Let me try, see if me can take them drum there and put them in a my thing and fuse it. But I find that most of us, you know, in Jamaica, like we're just stuck. You know? I remember one-dimensional mind. I remember before you go, Stephen the Genius years ago said something when he first had his child. I don't know Stephen, so big him up. He was like, he doesn't make his daughter listen to Jamaica music. I mean, sorry, radio, Jamaica radio. He made her listen to, because he wanted her music ear to be more broad.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she started to understand, oh, Frank Sinatra, oh, Louis Armstrong, you know, Otis Redding, like, you know, then you can listen to your regular local radio and you can be like, boom. So sense. You have to open up your mind as producers and artists to music. If you love music, listen different type of music.
Man. That's facts. And that's another thing we speak on a lot, is that people who are putting out stuff, not just music. If you're a restaurateur, right, you can't just consume your thing, you know. Yeah. And that's a problem that I think we have a lot, is that a lot of our musicians and producers just consume our thing. And I tested it myself before. I've spoken to many musicians and producers of dancehall and reggae music, and the only thing in them playlists and their arsenal is either them or their friends. You know what I'm saying? They're not necessarily open to a whole bunch of other things. Now, talking about exposure, you're born in Birmingham, England.
I was born in Jamaica.
You're born in Jamaica.
But as soon as I was born in Jamaica, I moved to England.
And
I lived there for a couple of years.
So a couple of years in England, and then of course back to Jamaica, and then we have the US. So it's like a trifactor right there. So you're exposed to a lot of different influences that way, right? In adverse to somebody who is not. So we can always look on it and say, you know, exposure is one thing, but the truth of the matter is this: there are other people who've traveled similar paths like yours are still limited. You know what I mean? Do you feel like your UK, US, Jamaica interaction has allowed you a broader acceptance of music?
Well, no, you know, because I had no music influences. I never had no family member that did music. Remember, I grew up in Baal. My father played semi-pro football in England. You know, my mother went to England to learn hair, to cut hair, and that's where she met my father. You know, so I never know nothing about the music. My first set of ties me played on my father trophy them.
Wow.
So
music was not.
Nobody in my mother never played no music in the house apart from church music.
Right.
You know, but music wasn't. You know, and even when I came back to Jamaica and lived in Jamaica for years, music wasn't my thing. Like ball, I play ball from Pepsi, Colts, Manning Cup, under 14, under 16.
Right.
I play everything until
right.
I forward to Florida now and play ball over here so I get a scholarship. So music was not my thing. I tell you, I meet Protoje and I'm a bridge Protoje in my yard, you know.
Right.
I'm a bridge and I tell me, say, yo, his name is OJ, man, the next big thing. And it never meant nothing to me.
Saying.
No disrespect, but it was just like, oh yeah, man, that good, man.
It's not like him say, yo, Ronaldinho over there.
Yeah, like, it never meant nothing. To answer your question, like, when I started to fall in love with music, I really had to like teach myself music and open up my mind to it. You know? The same way I love ball, I'm say, boy, I just watch Beer Jamaica, but let me watch how the Brazilian them play. The same way we watch different leagues of football and we learn different tactics. It's the same way that if you don't have the certain exposure to be certain places, the internet is there.
Right.
You can still learn everything about music like I did. As I say, I never grew up in no music. I never have no uncle or nobody to say, yo, come here, so sound a play and a string up in a learn. No, I tell you.
You know, that's what makes your viewpoint to me so important. Because a lot of times the story is not as such, right? And though sometimes the story not really either. Keyword story. People always talk about the influences. Oh, I grew up. I listen to Beer Bob, you know what I mean? My uncle is such and whatever. I actually love the fact that that's not your story. Because it says to me, and it says to the masses that it ain't got to be your story for you to approach it the right way, right? It's just your mindset, your meds, right? And knowing that you have to do something the right way. I'm stuck, and I will forever be stuck when you say, I decided to go take that course. You know what I'm saying? It never free. When them free courses pop up on internet, you took your money and go take the course, right? Where right about now, established artists and musicians and producers were established before you wouldn't have done that. A girl and thing we say. And you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I tell you.
Bro, so kudos, commendation, and again, it explains to me, it shows me why. Not just you do what you do, but the reason why you've had the success that you've had. Right? I don't want the man to lock off the thing for me, but let me tell you something. You think I joke my mic where I squeeze off? I'm a tune, ladies and gentlemen.
Big up Jesse, Protoje.
Now keep no square in a your circle. Them come from every angle just to hurt you.
Tune too big, my lord. But you know something.
Boy. Yeah. Go stream this right now.
Them say them love we, but that I yesterday. Get where them want and switch it up already. Them now go draw we out on no today. It not so easy to drain the energy.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, remember go and play that in my lock on the thing, you know, but if anything got joke me, I make there's more where that came from.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Brown girl from the ghetto, here might a retro. Stepping at them dancing a clubs. When the rest of them a beat them stiletto. When we step it no fi echo. Run through them city like a metro. Silence.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Aye, we not no time for
it's Lila.
the near up on my mind and me have to make.
You heard it.
Aye, me not no time for dirty bungle. Money on my mind and me have.
We squeeze some Proto.
Real bad girl, no afraid for make walk any boy in the world. Me bless no blood.
Yeah, she blessed. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Lila Ike, one of my favorites. I'm telling you, the reason I had to squeeze off a couple of them there, you know. I had to, hold on, and the thing don't stop. We ain't forgetting that, so, you know, you're gonna give me the, DJ, now tell me the catalog, we gonna find it. Like, we say, I stream the things with the massive.
Play that one, yeah.
Which one now?
Right now.
Which one now?
Vision Alexander right now featuring Jesse Raya.
Because I don't know if a lot of the people realize that you're an artist too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the people don't realize that you an artist too. I
mean, you know, we dibble dabble a little bit, you know.
You got a little
Some.
What's your name?
Right now. Yeah, man, you know.
All right, we going.
Yeah, man.
Why, Sean, me I try hold it out, you know that.
Large up yourself in a Sean.
Big up Sean Allery.
Number on my phone, you know. Sure. Yeah.
Oiga, papá, apareció el fantasma, ¿no?
Oye, bien.
Bueno, lo que necesite, usted sabe que yo lo cuido. ¿Cuánto?
Me I love 100 pound, a greatest switch my foot right now. Now go like that, would I could right now. 100 pound, a greatest.
No, sir.
Sean, me I try. I still got poppy number on my phone, you know. Sure. Yeah.
It's brand new.
Oiga,
It's been out, you know. It's been out.
apareció el fantasma.
Secret Jackie point.
Yeah,
Oye, bien.
doing this thing in Europe.
Jano.
Necesite, usted sabe que yo lo cuido.
Ladies and gentlemen.
¿Cuánto?
Me I love 100 pound, a greatest switch my foot right now. Now go like that, would I could right now. 100 pound, a greatest touch my foot right now. Now go like that, would I could right now. Right now, right now, right now, right now. Right now, right now, right now. Right now, right now, right now. Hear me no shot. Indica sativa, hope so you reach her. But you not heal her, still look you enough asthma. Book it for your semi-cup, make sure it back them sealer. Them dog you know are good, fi smell like every reefer. Box the bus it a go kick like FIFA. Me I beg you rub it down with little ammonia. God forgive me for my sins and I'm a karma. Like a old car, God you know me need a starter. Right now.
Yo, you're going away. I'm going away. Vision Alexander, ladies and gentlemen, featuring Jesse Royal. The only reason I say I fade them out so much is because I tune them so large. I know the people be zapping and clapping. And my radio folks gonna be still here to hear, but you don't know about the viewers out there. Banjano Star, bro, proper. At least I can tell this: you ain't just giving the hits away. You know what I mean? Sometimes people are, I give the hits. No, sir, you ain't just giving the hits away. You keeping some for yourself.
You know, you see that's the thing to like. You see, when I make the music, when I first make it, me and Sean in our studio, and if I am not like, yo, Sean, me I keep that one here, you know, that's the feel. That's me know say it now go work. Cause then by tomorrow now I'll call him and say, boy brother, you know, say me ear rape on it.
Yeah.
But if I don't have that original feel from the song, the record done, I don't feel confident in giving it to an artist. Cause I want to be able to when I give it to an artist, I can be like, yo bro, I love the song, but I think that you'll be better with it. Right. What you think? Right. And then they're just like, yo, Vision, yo, definitely like thank you know. But it's about the feel.
Wow.
Go back to the whole thing. It's about the feel. No science to this thing. It's about the feel. You have to have the feel for the music, and that is why the artists I work with, I want to see them win.
Yeah.
You know, like I always tell them, say, yo, like when I'm working with you, I'm working with you. Like I'm all about making you win. Cause if you win, I win. You know, and whatever skill set the Almighty has given me, and He's put us in that same path, it's yours.
Right.
Use me the way you need to use me. As long as you take care of me financially, make sure I'm good, come have a
Cover
family.
things,
Cover me things, them, come still have to pay for the thing, them, come still have the red. You see me? But You know? But at the end of the day, you know, like I just want to big up every artist that has allowed me to play a part in their journey musically. You know, I could go through the list, you know what I'm saying? I don't know yourself. Big up Sean Alric. You know, Sean Alric has been so instrumental in my development. Definitely. You know, Sean is such a talented producer. There's so many. Sean Alric has his finger on the genre right now in reggae music. Many of the big hits that you hear is Sean Alric produced them. You know, and I just want to bless up Sean and bless up every artist. Bless up Jesse, because although you know, I'm a songwriter, but the truth is, I like to call it, I'm a carpenter on a ship. The artists are the vessels. You know what I'm saying? And my job is to just work on the vessels. Them say, Vision, you know, say, we need, what them call it, the rudder for fix. My job is to just work on the rudder, do my thing, make sure that the ship, the vessel is seaworthy, and hopefully we can see them again upon the next port. You know, and them can come back with all of the great things that them got from around the world and say, look what we came back with. The ship worked. All right, let's work on it again. And my job is to just travel from port to port and meet different captains, and those are the artists. And I appreciate every one of them allowing me to be on their vessels, to work on their vessels. And I pray for everyone every time when I leave the port, when I go up on tour, when I promote the album, whatever I do, I pray for Uno. Because I'm like, a piece of me is with Uno, and a piece of Uno is with me. So I appreciate every one of Uno giving me the opportunity. You know, as a songwriter, many people, we were talking about this earlier, like the songwriters are normally just in the background. I want to kind of change that from a Jamaican standpoint, because there's so many talented songwriters from Jamaica, but they're never ever seen, they're never known because them don't understand the business. So unfortunately, some of them get taken advantage of. And then them give up on music. You know, I could name a couple of top artists that you probably don't hear nothing from them no more because they had bad relationships with their writer.
Yep.
You know, but I want to be, if you want to call it that guinea pig, you know what I'm saying, that songwriter that is vocal and is showing you other songwriters that there's a way to do this. You have to remember that the artist is the most important person. But there is a way to do this where you can be successful. You can support your family. You know, I learned this from Dino Del Valle. Big up Dino Del Valle, one of my teachers. Dino Del Valle is one of the A&Rs. He signed Cash Money to Universal on a P&D deal. So he's been in the game and he's been teaching me everything. And he said one thing to me that I took forever. He said, Vision, bad energy scares money. He's like, you could be talented, but he said bad energy scares money. So I've always taken that when I'm working with people to have a good energy. If I don't like your energy, I'd rather just fall back. Right. But I want to have that energy so that when we're working, it don't feel like a job. Right. You know? It don't feel like we're just making great music forever, for time upon time. And as I said, I just want to big up every producer. Big up yourself. You see me? Everybody who plays the music, who's influential to the music, every artist, label. Yo, believe in reggae music. Give reggae music a chance. And as the fans as well, yo, support your artists. Even if that's to be a competition, if you're going to be like, yo, we are going to stream more for Lila Ike compared to Ray. It's okay because it's at the same time it's all coming back to the same market share. Right. You know? And yeah, man, I just want to big up every artist, man. Every artist has to give me opportunity because I don't know, say, when help me support myself and my family. You see me? My son, thank you, a lot. And every DJ, every selector, you play the music. Right. When I help, you know, so I just want to thank you for real, you know, straight up.
Energy, that thing you mentioned a while ago, the energy vibe. And big up to everybody watching in live. To Basel Wagwan, Selector C, Beverland, Joy. A lot of folks watching in right about now, and I say, yeah, them love the vibe. Betty, what up? Clementine, what's going on? Wall Street, large up. You know, we talk about an energy vibe, man. Have you had that? Because that was advice that was given to you, and to be honest with you, sometimes the advice sometimes more priceless than the check that we're gonna get sometimes. You know what I mean? Have you ran into that yet? Where you've had to take away yourself from a situation just because of the energy? The energy just wasn't right?
Yeah. Many times, you have to, you have to kind of read things a little bit. Like, as Jamaica, we're street smart, so we feel energy. We read certain things, you see me?
Yeah.
Me as somebody now, I'm used to as a ball. I always say ball, because in ball, me and you might not have a good energy.
Right.
But once I pass the ball to you, we just speak a million words.
Right.
You see me?
Yeah.
Once I play that true ball and you score in a training, me and you are a friend.
Yeah, you're good.
You see me?
Achoo. Makes sense.
We might come from different walks of life, but that true ball, you remember that one. So I try to bring that same vibe into the music. Even if I feel an energy that is off, I try to be like, all right, how can I still pass the ball?
Right.
Where maybe we might not come from the same walk of life, or we might not see things the same, but at the end of the day, no, I still want to pass you the ball.
Right.
So
it's bigger than you overall. It's bigger than them.
Because as I say, I never think, them say vision, but the truth is I'm led by faith, not by sight. Although I say my name vision, this is not my vision.
Right.
You forward to my yard and you see Billboard and Grammy this on my wall. A few years ago, I really wanted them to be soccer trophies. I never thought I'd have a wall full of music. I never thought that I'd be able to know that, God forbid, if I pass away, I can leave a catalog of music that I've worked on and put it on my son's name so he can collect publishing for the rest of his life. I never thought that was going to be my journey. But the Almighty basically take you in places where you just have to just go with it. But tell anybody who's pursuing anything, like, be led by faith. If you believe in God, if you believe whoever is your deity, as long as it's not the devil, just go with God, because you don't know where God might take you. And sometimes you just have to fall back and just listen and watch where he might take you. Like, this is a small example and something I really want to touch on for everybody. Like, when it comes to this music thing, like, a lot of us, we're talking about it as well. Like, a lot of people think you have to be the artist or the producer or whatever. I work for a company. I'll big up the company now. Hopefully, you send me a check. Them name VER.
Big up on itself.
Yeah.
Forward the check.
VER was when it comes to market share, they rented 80% of audio equipment to every festival, every show, everything. So when I started to work for them, I was the only black man working the company. It's a white industry,
Right.
And when I went there, I had no degree. Everybody went to Full Sail and they were audio engineers, lighting, and I just went there with my billboard. I had a billboard for music. And I was just like to the boss, look, boss, I don't know nothing about this, but I have this.
Right.
I'm used to being on the stage and singing. I don't know about how to wire up this mic and all them things.
Right.
And they gave me a job. So when I was, and this is before I got into the writing. So when I'm working with them now and everything, I'm in charge of logistics, where I'm seeing like the riders and setting up things. Like, we used to do things for Ultrafest, Revolt.
Wow.
All of the big shows. Like, so I'm seeing, okay, this show want them this equipment, 100,000 them are gonna pay for it. But then I said, but if them are rent this for 100,000, what about the people them want to set it up?
Right.
And then I started to learn about, you have people called a L1, like a lighting one person who's probably getting paid $100 an hour. Audio one. And I'm like, so you have people in this game who are making probably more money than the artists.
Yeah.
So then it opened up my mind to the business. I'm like, music has so many avenues that you can support your family. You don't have to just be the artist, because sometimes you're not built to be an artist. Your personality. For me, like, I started out being an artist, but then I got in some situations where I had to stop. And then when I got this whole enlightenment of like, you don't have to be the artist.
Right.
And I found out that writing was really my calling. I found out that I could do so much more. Like, I can work more beyond the scenes and make more things happen. So my point is that, don't feel away if you feel like, boy, this artist thing now work out, or this producer thing now work out. There's other avenues in the industry that might just be working, that just work for you.
Right.
And you might not have the fame, but best believe you'll be able to pay for that house that you want, that car that you want. You can send your child to whatever school it is. If it comes to it, you'll be able to make a living. But that's where the business comes in. You have to know the business, and you get to realize that there's other avenues in this industry that can make you successful. and you still can make a big role in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Neo. Neo started off as a writer.
Yep.
And then Neo's now one of the top, you know?
Yeah.
So you never know, and that's why I go back to God. You never know where God going to take you, but you have to have an open mind. You have to have an open mind, and you really have to, you see me?
And that's that open mind thing you talk about. Very, very, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Vision Alexander. All right, we're talking to the songwriter, artist, musician, whole nine. Check him out. All right, make sure so you go look for not only his songs, but check out him catalog. Google. Google's your friend. You know what I mean? I love your approach. I love your vantage point because, again, like I said, it differs from the average and the normal story. You know what I'm saying? I asked you earlier if I gave you the keys to the game, what you change, right? You still got the keys to the game.
Yeah.
What are you keeping? What are they doing right?
What are they doing right?
Yeah.
We're staying true to our roots and culture. We're still holding on to that. I can honestly say that that's very important. We're not selling out. You know, there's still levels that we still hold firm in the music and just we as Jamaicans. And that is very important. You know, because maybe enough of we could have sell out and, you know, getting at some other things, but we're holding on to that.
Right.
What I would also keep is the artistry. You know, the fact that in Jamaica we grew up for when as an artist and you perform, like you have to perform live with bands. You know? I remember I used to hear a story, as I said, I never used to be a musician, but I used to hear stories of man them used to go to a studio sometime and then put a little mic through a grill.
Yeah.
And you have to spit your verse if you want to get into the studio.
Right.
Them things they're important.
Yeah.
Because them things they now build us as artists. I would honestly say that we as Jamaicans are the best performers in the world.
That's for sure.
When it comes to performing live bands, we have it naturally. When it comes to performing 2-track, we that. We don't do the lip syncing thing, you see me? Although the lip syncing thing, the other genres make their money, but them cannot perform like we.
You get your money's worth when you come see.
You get your money's worth when you come see we as Jamaicans perform. So we have that. Them watch us and them learn that. Our musicians are the best musicians in the world. Our keyboard players, our guitar players are the best. So we have the tools, you know, because remember say our goal upon the streets, you know, our reggae music, our goal, you know. We just kick it around like ball and not care. And the reason why there is because we have these amazing artists, talented producers, talented musicians. We are the best in the world when it comes to this music shit.
Right.
But we have to start to understand that there's no more distributing the ball. We're tired of playing midfield right now. We're tired of playing midfield. We now need to go on the offensive. We now need to start score goal. We now need to be on the front page and know say, yeah, reggae music, yeah, we got this amounts of numbers of streams. We got this, we got that. We need to start being like that. Stop being too humble. It's good to be humble, but we need to have a little pride. Like, you know how much my artist streamed today? He streamed a half. He streamed 100,000 in a week.
Right.
That's my reggae music. That's my artist. Yeah. You know, we have to have that. We have to have that thing there. You see me? If Massacre is your artist, you have to be like, you know what? Who's your artist? Beenie Man are your artist. That's all good. They still one family. But guess what? Me, I go stream Massacre all day tomorrow for make sure I say tomorrow, him stream them higher than your Beenie Man. And we still can boom fist and respect each other.
Yeah. Because the other genres do that.
That's what they do.
Yep.
You know? And as the artist now, you did ask a question, what is something the artists them need for put pressure upon them fans? If you love me as an artist, support me.
Right.
Me no need no fire emoji for support me. Buy my music, stream it, share it.
Yeah.
You see me? There's like my baby mother. Big up my baby mother.
Large up yourself.
Big up my baby mother. Me I don't know there right now, but we are big around said way. You see me? When I started to talk, my baby mother is Puerto Rican. But I learned how, as a Latina, how them listen music. So her thing was like this, because I never know. Hear a song on the radio. Wow, that sounds good. Shazam.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the name of the song? Apple Music. Okay, buy it.
Mad.
Play it now. I love that song. Then she go in a little group chat with her family, them about 50 of them. Send it.
Yeah, check this out.
This all happened in the space of like 5 minutes.
Wow.
10 minutes, let's just say. It's that easy.
Right.
And in that little time, she probably got people to share that music. Probably 100 people probably listen to that song.
Wow.
That is how we need to be, and it never costs her nothing.
Yeah. It's not like she had to buy it 100 times.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just the mindset. It's just the way how we have to be with our music. We have to have that same approach. You know, we have to like the music, listen to it, stream it, share it. Let's talk, you know, producers, artists, when I get into it now, when I make music, there's a 5-second rule. I'm going to run off in it real quick for them. You know, we spin some game.
Drop the info.
When y'all making music, there's a 5-second rule. You have to make sure that within the first 5 seconds, 10 seconds, you catch my attention. Not me, you have to catch the audience attention. Don't wait for when the song in the middle of the song. Remember that one verse, they will miss that. Yeah. No, nobody care about that. You have to think about it like this, like radio. This is what they're doing. You're driving in your car, you're going through the song like this. You don't hear next station. You need to make sure that 5 seconds of your song catches somebody who doesn't listen to reggae. Like, oh wow, that melody is so dope. Let me turn that up. What's this? Who's that? You have to make sure your hooks are strong.
Formula.
Your hooks are the universal language to a song. Your hooks are the universal language to a song. You have to make sure so you hook them strong. That's why it's called a hook.
Formula.
Melodies are very important. People used to tell me, say, oh, you know, when a girl look you something, a girl say, yeah, I love Jamaicans because when you talk, it sound like when I sing the patois. It in a way.
Yeah.
Melody in a way. So put melody in on the music them, put it in on the hook them. Make sure say a baby can be able to sing on the song. You see, nursery rhymes, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3 is a nursery rhyme that a baby can learn. Yeah. It's the same formulas you have to put in on the hook them. That people can be caught. You know what I'm saying? This bag of 16 bar verses thing, we not ready for that right now. Stick to your 8 if you have to do